Hey guys, it's me, Mrs. Salceda, and in this video I'm going to explain how to set up your spiral and how to take notes in your spiral. Okay, so the first thing is you are going to need a couple of supplies. So I have on here that you need two one-subject spirals, and if you see on the document camera, I have one of them already here. You also, it is recommended that you get college ruled, but if you don't get college ruled, you get wide ruled because you write larger, it's perfectly fine. You'll be fine. Now, pens. So there's different kinds of pens that I want you to use. Number one, it has to be a kind of pen that will not bleed through. So I have here, as you can see on the document camera, my Flair pens. These are actually the Office Depot version of the Flair pens. So these here that I've highlighted here on the paper are the ones that you would be using if you like this variety of color. You can also use Sharpie pens, which are more permanent and they have a really fine tip, kind of like these do. These actually have a fine tip. I don't know if you can see that. See, that's a fine tip right there. Um, you can also use regular pens like the big pens, like these here. These are some of my trusty go-to pens, especially when they come in those pretty pink, purple, and pastel blue colors. So as long as you have an ink, if you can't get any of these other kinds of pens, color or whatnot, you're perfectly fine using black or blue. I only recommend colored pens because it helps you differentiate your notes and whatnot. Now, you're also going to need unit dividers to divide the different sections. Regular dividers glued into the spiral. I went ahead and got these, just 5 dividers, if you could see on the document camera, 5 dividers. I got these at Walmart, the brand Pen and Gear. My spiral is also Pen and Gear. I think the spiral was 97 cents and the dividers were like $1.97. So it was a really good deal that I got at Walmart. If you don't like using dividers, you can also use Post-it tabs. You could use filing tabs, that are right here, or you could use washi tape. So this is going to be dividing into 10 units, which is why I say you need 10 dividers. So I have gone ahead and I created a separate video on, I want to say it was September 1st. It was September 1st video. Turn the ringer off. Sorry. They always call me when I'm recording. So I already recorded a video on how to set this up. So you should have already seen that one. So here is the front. This one has a cool pocket. It has your title, your name, the class, and of course the year. And I've already glued in the first divider. So what we're going to do is I am going to model how to take notes. So I am going to open my agenda and I'm going to click chapter 1.
Hey guys, I'm going to be going over your chapter 1.
Okay, so I am not going to play the audio on this because I want you to be able to hear me. But this video is going to be the chapter that we're going to study. It says The New World. The book actually changed the title to Indigenous People. So if you would like to, you can write Indigenous. I really hope I spelled that right. People. Now, the way you're going to be taking the notes is you are going to, let me pause this. You are going to be writing what I am lecturing on, but you're not going to write it word for word. You're going to put bits and pieces on there, important facts, important things. For example, let me pause it here. The first thing I'm going to write about is the Bering land bridge theory. So in your notes, you would write, I'm going to skip a line. I am going to write the land bridge theory. Now, in my lecture, I explained what the land bridge theory was, and you're going to see it again. So let me just go ahead and explain it. If you get a bowl with water and you put a dry sponge in it, what's going to happen to the water? Right, it's going to get sucked up into the bowl, or the water's going to go into the sponge, and the bowl's going to be dry. That is what happened during the Ice Age. So 16,000 years ago, during the last Ice Age, the ice was sucked up into the polar ice caps, and that is going to expose a lot of the land. the animals are going to be crossing the land, not realizing that there used to be water there. They're animals, right? They're just looking for food. And then the people, the early people, are going to follow the animals. They don't know that there used to be water there because they're looking for food. They're following their fauna. So they are going to cross, if you look here in the map, they're going to cross from this Russian area of Siberia into present day Alaska. And they are going to make their way into the New World. So I explained this in the lecture. So here you could put land bridge theory, and then you could put, a little dash or a bullet, and you could put 16,000 years ago, and you could put nomads followed animals. And then you could put land exposed during Ice Age. And that is going to be the Ice Age. That is going to be the main idea of this one slide. And then, of course, if you push play on it, it is going to continue with other stuff. Like, of course, you can put on here other theories because that is what is going to be on the next slide. And this, of course, is where we have people coming from China, Indonesian. And you can also put on here, the Vikings, such as Leif Erikson and Eric the Red. I should have put Eric the Red first because normally their last name they're named after their father. So Eric the Red, why does that sound funny? Leif Erikson, of course, follows. So, I'm still talking in this video. Going ahead. Erikson has 2 S's. That's probably what threw me off. Anyway, so that is what you're going to do. Now, you continue watching the video and it is going to talk about other things. For example, it is going to talk about climate and geographical differences. So you could easily skip a line and put climate / geography, underline it, and then you can put like 1-word blurbs. You don't have to write the entire thing. So here you can put plains, and then you could put grassy, trees, bison. And that's it. The next one is Great Basin. And on this one you could put dry, arid, and nomadic. So they did not stay here at all. The next one is Southwest. And if you've ever been to Arizona, New Mexico, you know it's pretty dry here. Also dry and arid. But they did have adobe dwellings. And then the last one on here is the eastern woodlands. And this had, of course, wood, so a lot of trees. So here they had a lot of hunting, they had a lot of gathering, and they had small groups. So, and then I explain a lot of this in the video. You just have to watch it. And then, of course, if you ever get a slide like this one, Clovis and Plano cultures, you don't necessarily need to write anything down. Just know that the Clovis and the Plano cultures did use spears and sharps to hunt. The nomadic peoples had different kinds of land, etc. Now, the next section is an important section, so I'm going to go ahead and write it out. Now, this is maize. So, move this up. You would write maize. Now, as you all know, maize is corn. Now this is going to be before 1000 AD. I'm going to put AD. Some of y'all know it as the Common Era. It is going to spread from Central America. It was popular in the Southwest, so I'm going to put popular in Southwest. Notice I am abbreviating, and a lot of these are going to develop vast irrigation systems. So I'm going to put irrigation systems. Now, something that is significant, and I want to say it's on the next slide, is Three Sisters. Now, this is going to be squash, beans, and corn. All three crops are going to be planted in the same area. So the corn stalk will be standing up, and then the bean will go around it, and then squash will be on the ground. And they have that symbiotic science word, pretend I know what the science word is, nature there. Now, you also need to put entire villages were built around the crops. Now, I mention it in my lecture that the reason civilization began mostly was when you hunted and you gathered, you didn't need to set down any specific place to live. You followed the animals, like during the Ice Age. But what's going to happen here is they planted their corn and their squash and their beans. Well, they're going to want to go back to it. They're not going to plant it, do all this work, and then leave. They're going to stick around. They're going to harvest it. They're going to utilize it, and they're going to replant it. This is going to be the very beginnings of villages and civilizations. So in my lecture, I continue, and then I get to the Mesoamerican ones. So that is how you are going to take notes. Now, as you can see from my document camera, you don't have to go into great detail. All you have to do is go through it. Now, the book that you're using, The American Yacht, it is not 100% aligned with the PowerPoint notes that I gave because we're using a new book this year. So if you go back to the agenda, it's going to say here, read chapter 1. And it is going to take you to chapter 1. I have like 4 different videos explaining the book, Indigenous America. Oh, it was America, not people. Sorry. So then you're going to have read the chapter, and anytime you want to add anything to it from the reading, you could write it on the side. So here it's talking about the very first Americans that came, the Salinan people of present-day California, the ones who created Turtle Island, the mound work. Glacial sheets receded around 14,000 years ago, opening a corridor to warmer climates and new resources. All of this here is the land bridge theory. In the Northwest, it talks about the different groups of people. So you can definitely add on to your notes on what you read. Just know that the majority of the quizzes that are on Blackboard follow the textbook. So you absolutely need to read the book. And then it goes into agriculture, and you wrote some of that down here. I'm not sure Three Sisters is on here. I know I read it. I just can't figure out where it is. Here you see the adobe. So it is kind of close. Cahokia, that's an answer on your quiz. You didn't hear from me. So you do have to read the chapter because a lot of what your quiz, a lot of the information is on here. And then where we left off, the Mesoamericans. So that is what your homework is going to be every weekend. I rarely give homework. The homework I do give is usually on Friday, and your job is to read the chapter and watch the video and take notes exactly like this. So if you have any questions at all, please let me know and I'll help you. You can reach me through email, my contact form, Remind. You can even catch me on Twitter, Salceda History. If you have a question, just let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.